Imagine this. You're out shopping at your local mall and you come across a Tesla dealership. You decide you want to poke your head inside and check out some of the vehicles. So you walk inside and everything looks pretty normal. Then a salesperson starts walking towards you, which you would expect, except for the first thing the salesperson says is, "How are you doing today? Have you ever heard about cars? They have four wheels and they get you from point A to point B." That'd be kind of a weird experience, yet most of you creating content are doing the exact same thing for your prospects. You're creating content without understanding the level of awareness that your prospect is in. And this is why most people creating content online are unable to make money from their content. Let's reverse it and let me show you another extreme. Let's say you're sitting there talking to your significant other and you tell them, "Hey honey, my car has been acting a little weird lately." All of a sudden, someone rings on your doorbell and it's that same Tesla salesperson. And they say, "Hi, good afternoon. I have a Model 3 in your driveway and I'm ready for you to sign." That would also be somewhat weird. All you said was that your car was acting a little weird, and now all of a sudden someone's making you an offer and they have a car in your driveway. So this is exactly what most people are doing because they're not understanding that every single prospect goes through 5 significant stages before they're ready to buy your product or service. And I didn't come up with this. This was created by some call the godfather of copywriting. His name is Eugene Schwartz. And the 5 stages are as follows. Unaware, which is when someone is unaware they even have a problem in the first place. Problem aware is when they realize that they have a problem. Solution aware is when they realize that there are solutions out there for this problem. Product aware is when they realize that there is a product they can buy to help them with that solution. And then most aware is when they're trying to essentially decide between different types of products or services. What most people don't seem to understand, however, is that the majority of people in any marketplace, let's say 98%, are in this unaware, problem aware, or solution aware phases. So that means that only 2% are in the product aware or most aware phases. Yet most people running ads, creating content, they're saying, "Buy my stuff, I'm the best, I'll get you guaranteed results, blah, blah, blah." And the reason why all of that's falling on deaf ears is because these people are either unaware, problem aware, or solution aware. They're not even ready to be presented an offer yet. And so we kind of want to make sure that we're creating our content guiding these people through these 5 stages. So if you do your content correctly, it should very naturally and organically take people from unaware to problem aware to solution aware to product aware to most aware. And let me show you an example. I'm going to give you 2 specific examples here. So the first one's going to be a simple one that everyone can understand, and the second one's going to be a little bit more business focused. So in this top stage here, we have Tom, and Tom feels tired. Okay, so Tom is a tired guy and he's feeling a little bit tired, but he's not aware that's even a problem in the first place. Maybe Tom just assumes that everybody feels as tired and being tired is part of an everyday life. However, Tom is online consuming content, maybe watching Instagram Reels, YouTube, reading articles, and all of a sudden he kind of comes across an article and he realizes like, whoa, this tired thing, it doesn't happen to everybody. And actually, most of the time when people are tired, it's because they have poor sleep quality. Well, now Tom is in problem aware. He is aware that he has poor sleep quality. So Tom's like, wow, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. So then he Googles, how do I get better sleep quality? And he figures out this, watches a YouTube video where someone explains to them, hey, if you have a really solid bedtime routine, you can typically have a better sleep quality. And so Tom says, well, great, I need to find a better nighttime routine. And it's right here and there that in that same article or YouTube video that he's learning about the bedtime routine, it's actually by a software called, let's say, Sleep Tight. And Sleep Tight is a software that helps you have a better nighttime routine. They track the stuff for you. They tell you what your nighttime routine should be. It's AI, whatever the fancy stuff is today. And so he's reading this article about why he needs to have a bedtime routine. And then at the bottom of the article, it says, if you want to have a good bedtime routine, then maybe you should try Sleep Tight. And Tom goes, wow, that sounds like a pretty good option out there. And so he learns of Sleep Tight, but nobody really buys right after they hear of a product for the first time. So he is product aware. But then he goes on Google and he types in Sleep Tight's competitors and he hears of Restful, okay? So now he knows of Sleep Tight and Restful, so now he's product aware. He is aware that there are products out there that can help him with the solution. So then what does Tom do? Well, then Tom goes online and he starts searching for discounts for sleep tight, or he starts looking for case studies or reviews or testimonials. Is there anybody like him that's gone through the exact same thing? And now Tom would be most aware, right? And so only in these last two stages here would it be really valid or worth your time, energy, and effort to make an offer to somebody. That would only here would it make sense for sleep tight to come up to Tom and say, hey, Tom, you want a better bedtime routine? Then you should get sleep tight. If Tom just felt tired and then sleep tight ran an ad to him and said, you should have a better sleep time routine, here is sleep tights, then they're probably not going to make many sales, or they're going to make a very low percentage of sales. But if Sleep Type instead took somebody through this entire process from A to Z, they're going to have a much better chance of converting that person, especially when you take into account that the more exposure somebody has to a specific content or brand, the more likely they trust them, the more likely they're going to buy. So if you're taking somebody all the way from the top to the bottom in these awareness stages, then you're going to be able to build a lot of exposure with that person and a lot of trust. And so when it comes time for them to buy, when they're ready, when they're product aware, or they're most aware, they're going to buy your product or service. Let's take it home with one more example here. And this is going to be a little more of a business example. So let's keep on using Tom. So Tom here, he creates content online. So Tom's a content creator. Okay. Tom learns that not all content equals sales. So he's been creating content for a while. Sometimes he makes sales and sometimes he doesn't. But he feels like the most content that he's creating, it doesn't make any sales. He's kind of spinning his wheels on here. So then Tom learns about the levels of buyer awareness. Ooh, talk about inception, right? So this is an exact example of what you're Tom right here, okay? So Tom learns about the levels of buyer awareness. Oh, okay, maybe I'm creating content that is not appealing to somebody at the right stage. Maybe all my content is focused on product aware or most aware, and I need me creating more content on problem aware or solution aware, right? And so then Tom starts doing his research online, and he maybe watches this video, and then he says, oh, well, scaling with systems, this guy just taught me about the levels of buyer awareness. Let me go watch his video down below. What would it be like? What else does he offer? And then he learns that actually at Scaling with Systems, we write your content for you. We write your ads for you. We write your video sales letter. We set up the marketing campaigns. We do everything. And so Tom says, wow, that sounds really good. That's the kind of the solution I was looking for here. Instead of me spinning all my wheels, why don't I just pay somebody else to help do it for me? But then Tom is a smart guy, and so he's not just going to jump right away and buy immediately. So then Tom Googles online, and he's able to find XYZ competitor, the scum that's the competitor to Scaling with Systems. I'm just joking. I'm Scaling with Systems, so they're obviously not a scum. And Tom's kind of trying to decide between both of them. But then Tom goes on Scaling with Systems YouTube and watches, there's over a dozen in-depth video testimonials there, case studies. So then he watches these case studies of these clients that are Scaling with Systems. A lot of them are really similar to the Tom, and a lot of them have the outcomes that Tom wants to have. And so Tom says, you know what, Scaling with Systems is the right company for me, and then he buys our products or services. Okay, so this is how you should be looking at your content. So let's wrap this all up. What does this look like for you on the day-to-day basis? Well, first and foremost, do not market to the unaware people. So unaware means that these people have no idea they have a problem in the first place. So a great example would be something like, did you know? Anytime you put a did you know in the first beginning of an ad or something like that, you're going to an unaware person because they're assuming that they didn't know previously. And so when you start here, I know I said that this is 98% of the people, but you don't want to, this is probably going to be like 60% of the people just in the unaware phase right here. So you don't want to actually go to the unaware because it's just way too much work, okay? You're not going to try to take somebody who doesn't, like, they're creating content for sales and they think everything is all hunky-dory, there's no problem with it. Well, then they're not going to buy your product or service anyway, okay? Instead, you want to spend the majority of your time in these two stages, problem aware and solution aware. So when you're creating content online, you need to have the understanding is, am I creating this as a problem aware content or a solution aware content, right? And going back, just because I know it can get a little confusing, problem aware content would be me making this video right here saying that, hey, did you know that not all content you create leads to sales? And they're like, yeah, I realize I'm making a lot of content and it's not leading to sales, right? So now they're problem aware, and I'm making a video, maybe the title of this video is something like why your content isn't leading into sales. Well, now you're becoming problem aware, and then I'm showing you the levels of buyer awareness, and now you're solution aware, okay? So this could really be two pieces of content. This could be the same piece of content. And that's another point that some people miss is that I've kind of taken people all the way from problem aware, let's say down to product aware in this example here, just in this one YouTube video. So I made a YouTube video about, hey, the title is going to say something like why your content is not getting sales. So that's problem aware. You're now aware that you have that problem, that your content should be getting sales. Then you click on the video and you learn about the 7 or the 5 levels of buyer awareness. So now you're solution aware. And then I told you that Scalable Systems will set this all up for you, done for you. And I'm making a call to action to go below and book a call to our team. And so now you're product aware. So in this one piece of content, I've taken you through all of this. But in other instances, it could be multiple pieces of content. So I could just do one piece of content that's just problem aware, or one piece of content that's just solution aware, right? It just depends on what platform you're on and how you're doing things. This is why I personally am very bullish on YouTube, because YouTube allows you to take people in one video all the way through the stages of awareness, right? From problem aware to solution aware to product aware, really even to most aware. Like if I were to put case studies or testimonials of clients that we've worked with, and then I've gotten these results in this one YouTube video, then you may not have to go look at another piece of content from here, because this video has covered it all, okay? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Understand that there are different stages in the content that you're creating. And if you look at your content, your ads on your Instagram, your YouTube, your ads library, whatever else it is, and all of it is like, this is why Scalable Systems needs to work with us. Here's a client testimonial. Here's a client testimonial. You are going to be able to make sales from this 2% of people. But eventually that 2% of people is going to get exhausted. And so you need to start to make sure you have something else higher up in the funnel that's bringing in new people and bringing them to product aware. And that's why we really love organic content to do that. And I guess the final little secret or hack that I'll give you is that if you do this correctly, what you can do is your organic content, I'll change this color here to make it real quick. Your organic content can make people problem aware and solution aware, and then you run paid ads to those people that watch your organic content to make them product aware and most aware. And that's the beautiful combination of what I found, because you can disguise sales pitches as essentially problem aware or solution aware helpful contents, at which point you remarket those people later.